somebody who'd only Huddersfield and Bury could manage to afford such a wonderful place.
Says something, doesn't it? Yeah.
When my son was at university, he had a part-time job working in a restaurant, and Neil Warnock used to come for a Saturday evening meal every other week. And my son's a Wednesdayite, but he said Neil Warnock is a lovely man. Came away from a football pitch, and he was charming.
Yeah.
So, really nice guy.
Good.
Well,
Keith might beg to differ.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Nice.
Away from the football environment, perhaps.
Yeah, I just have my worst memory of him is my first ever school game, because I scored for our school and Neil Warnock scored for the other school.
Right. Yeah.
So all your fault then.
It's all my fault. Yeah. No, to be honest, it's his dad's fault. I used to work with his dad, and his dad was crazy about Neil becoming a professional footballer. In fact, it wasn't until many, many years after that I found out that Neil had got a brother called John. His dad was all about Neil.
His brother was a top bloke.
Oh, his brother's smashing.
Yeah, I
really
worked for him at academy.
Yeah.
Terrific.
In fact, a lot of good players that have come out of the academy, people don't realise it was John Warnock that kicked it all off.
Mm-hmm.
It was John Warnock and Ron Reid.
Ron Reid, yeah. He's another top bloke. Ron.
Yeah. So, right. Shall we crack on with... we're going on about referees and the county FA and the fees and that. But just to put it in a bit of perspective, it was the first week of Sunday League football on Sunday, and in our league, we only had one red card that I'm aware of, and it was for a tackle, not for something said. So that's a definite improvement on.
Has Fitzpatrick come back then?
But I did send out an email to all the clubs telling them to make sure that the players behaved, and because if they didn't, we'd deal with them. So it obviously had some impact.
Yeah.
As regards the game I refereed, I gave one penalty, didn't give another when they claimed I should have done. Gave 2 dodgy goals, and
They've got to be playing Wednesday.
Yeah.
so
Pretty normal refereeing then.
and to be honest, they may well have been right, but you have to make a decision there. What they don't realise is you have to make a decision there and then.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the advent of VAR and all that doesn't help referees at all, because kids see all this and they've got lines open, and the fourth official, that you're in the middle on your own. You've got to make a decision there and then, and it's some do it better than others, and I am 70 odd, so it's they have to put up with what they get. I don't do it.
I don't know if Ian will remember a referee from Liverpool called Evans. We never saw him at Anfield except on a pre-season game.
Yeah.
But he had this thing where he'd go in the dressing room, both dressing rooms before a game, and say to the players, "Have a good game, fellas, and I don't want anything dirty, and I don't want any messing." Yeah, be one warning and you're off. Okay. And they'll say, okay, okay. Then he'd stick his head back in and say, and that was the warning. So,
I like it.
yeah.
The only
good.
referee I knew, apart from Brian, who comes on the call every now and then, Peter, was a chap called Squadron Leader James Smith. He was an intelligence officer at Northwood, underground, part of the nuclear deterrent, and he'd show me all these pictures of lightning aircraft intercepting Russian bears and what have you. And on the Saturday, we'd watch him on Match of the Day. You know, it was quite bizarre.
I think all referees should be underground.
You wouldn't want to be under this part of Northwood. It was, they recircled the air 3 times before they expelled it. And they started doing some extensions underground. So all the concrete that was being drilled out was being circulated through the whole. Our uniform was, well, I used to have my neck was cut because the woolly pulley would chafe my neck because there was so much grit on it in a day. And in winter, you never saw the light of day except at lunchtime, you know. It's not a place I would recommend. I take my hat off to these submariners.
Yeah. I mean, I do also, when I didn't mean to referee on Sunday, the referee was taking offers for an FA match. So it happens. So I filled in for him, and it was one of our Premier matches, which don't really help me that much because they play that much quicker than the other divisions. And it was hard going. But whenever I do referee one of our games, before the game, I gather the 2 teams together and say, hello, how are you? I am a qualified referee, even though I look ancient. I'll do my best. Said, but there is one thing that you should remember, and that's that I'm also the chairman of the league. Good behaviour from both sides. So, and generally speaking, it works.
Do you ever tell them to keep the ball in one end of the pitch so you don't have to run too far?
Well, to be honest, Sunday's game was a bit awkward because both teams, it was on quite a wide open pitch, and both teams decided that a long ball frequently was the right solution.
Not for you.
And for a referee, that's a nightmare, because how do you keep up with play when it's suddenly at one and then it's suddenly at the other end? I much prefer the games where the teams try and work it through by intricate passing and that. I can keep up with that, but I mean,
You've got
Sunday,
assistant referees. You've got assistant referees.
no, you
Tell them
haven't.
it's
You
theirs.
haven't. You haven't. At our Sunday league level, you haven't got assistant referees.
What
So
age group was it, Keith?
Adults.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's but trying to keep up when they're both playing a long ball game is a nightmare scenario.
Does
And
your Zimmer ever get stuck in the mud though?
it does occasionally, yeah. But one of the goals that I was lambasted over, oh, not so much lambasted, but there was an attack and a ball was crossed in, and the goalkeeper went to catch it and dropped it, and I gave a corner because it had obviously it was gone out of play, and he was complaining. He's saying the ball was already out of play when I went to catch it. And I said, well, it didn't look like that from where I was. And anyway,
40 yards away.
I gave the corner. The corner came in. It was cleared, but it went out for a throw-in. When the throw-in came in, it was headed on and somebody scored. So it was, and so they were still going on about I shouldn't have given the corner in the first place. But
It's nice to feel valued, isn't it, Keith?
It is, yes. But, you know, at the end of the day, I gave what I thought were honest decisions. So,
All you can ask.
And they wouldn't have had a game if you'd not done it.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
they would have had to have done it themselves.
Uh,
We have a rule that says that you can't call the game off if you've got no referee. The two teams have to agree on someone doing it in the absence of a qualified official. And they have all the powers of a qualified official once it's decided on. So if you didn't do that at local league level, some of the leagues, they would never get finished
Yeah.
because they'd be playing, they'd only be playing half the number of games. We're fortunate, our league, in that we've got a good reputation and we've got more referees on a Sunday than the other Sunday leagues put together.
That's good.
So anyway, enough about that. Back to Dave the Beard for the news of the century, I think this.
I say which week are we on?
Try and speed up. Formula One, Dutch Grand Prix was won by Max Verstappen, ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Bottas in third. Victory at his own race put him 3 points clear of Hamilton in the title race. And that was the first time in 36 years that a Grand Prix had been held in Holland. Probably all down to Max Verstappen, no doubt. Boxing. Josh
Can I
Warrington-
interrupt? Can I interrupt, Dave? Did anybody
Sorry?
watch that Grand Prix?
Oh, thanks.
No, all right.
Apparently,
It was a fabulous spectacle. As you right,
70,000 there, weren't they?
they're all in orange, which was interesting. But when Verstappen, just one bit of razzmatazz, when Verstappen crossed the line, all the fireworks went off along the perimeter. It was absolutely fabulous. They had discos and all sorts there. It was like, God forbid, the 100
Like the
in
100.
cricket,
Oh, God.
but more enjoyable. Sorry, Peter.
But he isn't Dutch, is he?
No, he is a Dutch citizen. He's got
Oh.
citizenship because wasn't he? I don't know where he was born, but
He's-
he
he's
moved to
Austrian.
Holland. Yeah, and he liked it so much he applied for Dutch citizenship. So of course that went down a storm with all the Dutch, all the cloggies.
Yeah.
Anyway, they turned out for him, and it was just one big party. You had no chance
Yeah.
of your Mercedes, no chance at all.
Well,
Yeah.
if he's Dutch, at least he'll speak good English.
Yes.
That's what you do on the continent. If you're struggling with the local language, look for a car with a yellow number plate because the
Yes.
Dutch will help you out.
Did somebody say there hadn't been a Dutch Grand Prix for 36 years? Did you say that, Dave?
So I am
Yeah.
reliably informed.
That's right.
Because there used to be, Zandvoort used to be one of the regular venues, didn't it, in the old days?
Yep. Yep.
You're probably right.
Probably didn't get enough money to stay in Holland.
No, quite.
Follow the money.
But they certainly put on it was value for money. Even watching it on the TV, it was a good show. It wasn't just watching cars go around. It was that you could sense the atmosphere in the lounge, you know. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
They probably had a
Right.
wacky backy shop on every corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evening entertainment was a bit, you know, dodgy.
Right.
Come on, Dave.
On to
I think
boxing.
Dave's dragging his feet
Josh
here.
Warrington, his featherweight rematch with Mauricio Lara ended in a technical draw after an accidental clash of heads in the second round. Lara suffered a bad cut above the left eye and it was called off. As 4 rounds had not been completed, they couldn't declare a result. On the same bill, Katie Taylor, she remains the undisputed world lightweight champion after a points victory over her American opponent. And also on the same bill, Conor Benn, son of Nigel, beat his American opponent on points, giving him his 19th victory in 19 fights. Cricket, England lost. I'll leave it at that.
Shut up.
India only need a draw to see them win their fourth series win since their first visit in 1932, and their first series win in this country since 2007. In the county championship, Notts lead Lancashire by 231 runs with 5 second innings wickets remaining. Yorkshire scored 308 but beat Somerset by an innings and 33 runs. Horse racing.
Chris had tickets for today, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finished
I hope,
yesterday.
I hope he had them for yesterday as well.
I don't think he did he?
No, I don't think so.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Still, nice day to go to Scarborough.
Unless it's a sea
Beautiful day.
fit.
I've just seen the weather forecast, Doug, and they show the UK. It's bright red. It's going to be a really hot day today.
Right.
The latest score at Hove, Middlesex, 470 for 2.
Wow.
Wow.
A record opening partnership yesterday of 376. Yeah, incredible.
By 2 England former openers.
Yes, that says something, doesn't it?
Stoneman.
Yeah.
Or were they, Peter?
Sam Robson and Stoneman.
All right, yeah.
Stoneman who came from Durham to Surrey.
Middlesex.
It wasn't the openers who let England down in the test this
No.
time.
No,
It was a Yorkshireman called Burstows. Really disappointing.
I think the trouble with the Indians is it's not like it used to be. They used to come over here and play for us. Like, you know,
Right.
now but for Towdy and not now.
Yeah.
That Bumrah really can bowl, though. All fair dues.
Well,
Yeah.
On a flat wicket.
the 2 balls he got, Pope and Burstow. God.
Brilliant.
I still think one of them's got a dodgy bowling action.
I think he has. Bummer.
It doesn't look right to me at all.
It certainly bends his wrist. I don't know whether it bends his elbow, but it bends his wrist.
We really should have taken a leaf out the Argentinian book and somebody run onto the pitch and save 4 of them with COVID.
Somebody did run onto the pitch
Yeah.
again.
They got the coaches though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Don't you think in England's problem is that they can't play this moving ball? They haven't got the technique anymore to play a moving ball.
They don't play enough.
Whether it be
They don't
seamless
play
or
enough
whether
long game cricket.
No, they don't. It's all 20 over stuff. So
Yeah.
you're going out there for a bash. But if they played properly, played the long game, like Barrington and people did in the old days, they'd get a technique to be able to play. Boycott can play it. But there's no
I'd have been
technique
Joe
to play it.
If I'd have been Joe Root, I'd have been saying to Burns and Hamid, if you're 10 not out, each of you, at the end of the day, fine. Just stay there.
Yeah.
But England
want to
obviously
lose.
thought they could win. England thought they could win, I think.
Hey,
They could. I mean,
is
This day,
High in the sky.
definitely.
is some of the problem though that they're trying to play long game cricket when maybe what they should have done is think, right, we can win this, let's go and batter them like we do in 2020 or 50 over cricket. Don't
No,
try and go on the attack.
No, I think the problem was, of course, they've got this spinner who can bowl on the in the footmarks that have been left,
Yeah.
and
Right.
just turned it square. And then the seamers to start with, Then they start what they call reverse swinging. I was used to call it an outswinger, but now it's a reverse swing. And they start doing that with an old ball, and that really does throw. You just don't seem able to cope with it.
No. Right.
I don't think we've ever been able to cope with reverse swing ever since the Pakistanis brought it in. Just seems to be alien to us. The point that one of you made was it wasn't the openers. I think he's right. It wasn't the openers this time. It was the middle order.
No.
You can't rely on Root all the time. And
Still in run out though.
Yeah, he's
Still in
you've
run
got
out.
middle order batsmen who actually have at times in the 2020 bit, you know, like Ali and Burstow played as openers or up the order. So the mentality is we are white ball cricketers. We can't play the red ball game in it. We've got the bowlers, but we can't play the batting game. And it's alleged we bat down to number 10. We don't. Not in the red ball game. It's a shame. Should get Chris Hall here.
Yeah.
Both Robinson and Overton have got first class hundreds.
Yeah.
But not against an attack like India's.
Yeah.
No.
That's the difference.
With the red.
They're missing Ben Stokes and Mark Wood though, which doesn't help.
Yeah, they're certainly missing somebody quick, aren't they?
Well, we burnt Ben Stokes out, didn't we? You know, we're ourselves to blame, really. The way we intensify the number of games, you know, in football, in rugby, in cricket.
Did anyone
away with it?
Yeah. Did anyone see the stats that they were putting up about James Anderson? First innings, he got 41 wickets. In the second innings, he's only got 7 wickets.
Yeah.
That says he's knackered by the time the second innings comes round.
Yeah, he still bowled more overs than anybody else.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance he'll be rested for the final test.
I think they've
Which
got
is
to
now
break.
because it's at Old Trafford.
They've got to break the Anderson Broad combo and bring on some new. Robinson's a good bowler. They've got, and you got Woods and the rest of it. Joshua, what's her name? The coloured lad.
Archer,
You've got to move them on. They really need to rethink the red ball game and put some priority on it. And whilst you've got the 100 and these T20s and even the ODIs, it is a distraction for the specialist player against teams. India is a red ball team.
Yeah, Ian, can I just mention one thing? Jofra Archer is a black player.
Sorry.
Not a colour.
But I'm sorry, I'm 72. I don't understand it. I really can't keep pace with it. I don't mean any offense to anybody. I've come from a background that service background where we just got on with it. We didn't.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm sure my wife wouldn't object, whatever you called her.
I call her by her first name or a nickname.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Monica.
Monica. Of course it is. We've seen.
You've seen her glimpses.
We have seen glimpses of Monica.
Seen her sorting you out.
Yes, her IT skills are a bit more sophisticated than mine. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Come on, Dave.
Horse racing. Trainer Gordon Elliott will have his licence reinstated on Thursday following the circulation of a photo of him sitting on a dead horse. And this Saturday sees the running of the St. Leger at Doncaster for anybody into horse racing. Golf. Europe retained the Solheim Cup 15-13. This was still controversy in the golf. Because on Saturday, Europe, Madeline Sagstrom fell foul of rule 13.3 when America's Nelly Corder's eagle putt on the 13th stopped on the edge of the hole. Sagstrom picked the ball up and called it a birdie. However, she's deemed not to have left it 10 seconds to allow it time to either stay where it was or just tip into the hole. The Americans won that match by 1 hole, but
Wow.
luckily didn't win the Solheim Cup as a result.
Yeah, just on that, I was watching a bit of the cricket. I think that they've brought a rule similar to the beach volleyball, where the ladies' dresses can't be longer than a certain length.
Yeah,
It all
yeah,
seems to be very short.
yeah. I noticed how short their dresses were and thought, ooh, they must be cold.
I must be missing the point.
But then
'cause
I
think
am
they've got-
80 odd, you know, so.
I think they've got beautiful swings, I think. But there you go, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Get on with it.
Tennis, Emma Raducanu is through to the quarterfinals at the US Open after beating Shelby Rogers 6-2, 6-1. Just shows you the state of sport. Rogers has now said she'll probably receive no end of death threats as a result of losing. Apparently she does after a defeat.
Right. I mean, Raducanu, it's amazing. The previous round, she won 6-1, 6-love.
Yeah.
So she only dropped 4 games in 2 matches.
Yeah.
They reckon she's the real deal. They reckon she's going to be absolutely top notch.
Well, she had a good summer because didn't she take her A levels this year or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pressure enough for most kids, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
and yet she's balanced one against the other and come out playing some, really good tennis. Good luck to her.
World class tennis. Yeah.
Yeah.
They reckon her return of serve is going to be the starring thing. And apparently when she was practicing, when the coach said, what do you want to concentrate on? It was always return of serve. And now they're talking about her being as good as, was it Djokovic at returning serve? So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
obviously paying off. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's logical. You've got to be, if you hold your own serve, you've got to break their serve. So the first thing you got to do is be able to return it. And return it with interest is going to give you more chance. She's got her head screwed on, that girl.
All right.
Apparently she lost her first serve in that game.
Yes, she did.
She did.
And then bounced back.
Then what?
Yeah,
11
she
games
won.
on the bounce.
Yeah, yeah.
On the bounce. Very good, Paul.
Yeah. I tried to take that one back, but it was too late.
I know. Yeah.
On the home straight now, local sport, Speedway, Sheffield Tigers moved to the brink of playoff qualification after beating Bellevue 49-41, with victory secured in the last heat with a 5-1 in their favour.
Wow.
Handsworth FC beat Coventry United 2-0 in the first qualifying round of the FA Cup, earning the club £2,250 in the process.
Yeah. So, Dave, does that put them in the...
Second qualifying round.
All right. How many qualifying rounds are there?
That's
3,
three,
I
I
think.
think. 3 or 4.
3.
Four, I think. It used to be 4.
Yeah, it's
4,
four.
is it?
Yeah, I think so.
They're playing against, I think they're playing against non-league clubs, aren't they? Like Chesterfield.
They beat Stocksbridge in the previous, I think in the
Yeah.
previous.
Yes. Tremendous.
Athletics, Sheffield, Rudy May was crowned national pole vault champion at the England under-15s combined events championship. He cleared 3.51 metres and was 40 centimetres clear of his nearest rival. He's top of the UK standings for his age by nearly half a metre.
Wow.
Possible Olympic champion coming up if he keeps progressing.
Sure.
Rugby League, Sheffield Eagles. Sorry. Sorry, Ian.
Come on, join in. Get into the
I'm concentrating on getting to the end, so Eagles lost 24-20 at home to Dewsbury Rams after being 14-6 up at half time. And finally, football. Not a lot on that with no games for local clubs. But Sheffield Wednesday supporters are finally going to receive season ticket refunds, hopefully. After the
We've received,
contest several civil claims in court.
What did you say, Dave?
I've received mine,
What did you get?
£130. We paid for the season tickets for this year, so we got another £130 to come back, and we got that. We got that at the weekend.
It's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you got money from?
From Sheffield Wednesday themselves. We spent it in shop actually.
Ah.
No, we didn't have to do that, but
we got one or two.
They just locked the doors behind you.
We got one or two birthday presents.
Good man. Good man.
Wise man.
I have a strong feeling that it's Moore who's running Sheffield Wednesday now, not Chancery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a good thing,
He
Ron?
knows what he's doing.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, yeah. So, go on, Dave.
That's it. Finished. Done.
Hey, well done, Dave. So, yeah.
So there's only 6 minutes left.
Well,
try and be a bit more
one of the longest ones.
Yeah. Has anyone got a quick quiz that we can do?
I've got one question.
Yeah.
One question. What England record does Danny Mills hold?
All back.
I couldn't
Sure.
get it. My son asked me this. I got no chance.
Shortest time on the pitch.
No,
I'm getting sent off. Or
no.
Number
I
of,
was miles away. I hadn't a clue. I got all those
number of
kind of
games.
answers.
Number of games as a substitute without playing.
No,
Is it a football statistic or something else?
it's a football statistic. Yeah.
Right.
Not having scored.
No,
Got an England cap for after the fewest number of first team games.
no. Do you want
Played
the
in,
answer?
played in goal.
The
It's the
player
youngest
with
son
the
of Freddie
most
Mills.
international caps who has never played for England at Wembley. Brackets, not including ones before Wembley was built.
Crikey.
They never played for England at Wembley.
Strange.
And how many caps did he have?
I don't know, but he got a few, Danny Mills. My son asked me that, and I went through fastest goal, quickest sending off, all sorts of things. Never got anywhere near it.
Not surprised.
Whilst you're talking, I'll have a look to see how many
I
times
was
he played.
just going to do the same.
Yeah, I was.
Anybody else got a question?
I just remembered when Keith was talking about running up and down and being on his own. When I got into the Old Boys Rugby Club third team, I was told we had 2 calls. In attack, the call is "you're on your own," and in defence, "he's yours." Those were the only 2 calls we had.
By the way, he got 19 caps, Danny Mills.
Yeah.
When I went to Liverpool, Peter, Liverpool Rugby Club, after leaving school, they blooded me in the Tornadoes team, which was about the 3rd, 5th team they had. And Ian McDouglas, who was an ex-old boy of my school, pulled me to one side. Now, look, Ian, we have different rules in our team. No showing off, no outrunning your props. And if we're getting a bit tired, you're the hooker. Make sure you're the last man to the scrum.
Which school did you go to, Ian?
I went to Liverpool Coal at the end of
Right.
Penny Lane,
Oh, yeah.
sports ground, and the front of it goes on Queen's Drive at the Sefton Park end.
Yeah.
And now it was great days, but we most of the boys from that school or Merchant Taylors in Crosby would go into Liverpool Rugby Club or Waterloo Rugby Club.
Yeah, Waterloo,
And the
maybe.
schoolmasters at those respective schools would play for one or other of the teams, not necessarily the local one.
Okay,
They were great days.
Right, we've only got 2 minutes left. So how about this for a question? Can you name the last 10 countries that have hosted the World Cup prior to Moscow, prior to Russia?
Mexico,
France,
Yeah,
United States,
South
Korea,
Africa,
yeah,
South Korea,
yeah,
Germany,
Japan,
Germany,
South Africa,
Yeah.
South Africa,
France,
yeah, yeah,
Brazil,
Spain,
yes,
Italy,
yes,
Italy,
France,
Isle of Man,
Argentina,
Argentina, yes. I think there might
Andorra.
be one more, and somebody might have said it already.
Andorra.
No, they've held
that
it
was a rabbit.
twice in only
Mexico,
twice.
Mexico.
Mexico. Yes,
Mexico.
there you are. Oh, there you are. That's all the top
and we
10.
didn't win once.
who is the only cricketer to have scored 99 either out or not out, both in tests and one-day internationals. England player. He's got 99 in both tests and ODIs.
Juro,
Who did you say, sorry?
Atherton,
No,
Bairstow,
no,
Juro,
no.
No.
Better tell us, we're running out of time.
Hales,
Jeff Boycott.
More than he deserves.
Quite.
Right, everybody. We'll see you. Well, I won't see you next week, but have a good time next week and be good out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Anybody else?
next week.
bye everyone.
Yeah.
Cheerio, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.